This is the first spine of the westernmost mountains of Huaxia. Mount Tianyu, the records of the classic of mountains and seas, describing it as the head of the Hua Mountains are unfolding before our very eyes, transforming into a vast and hazy reality. The wind is the eternal underlying color of this mountain. Gnarled branches pierce through the rock crevices. Dark green needles surge like a sea amidst the steel-like peaks. The celestial maidens of the pre-Qin era had long ago recorded its abundant pines. These ancient lives, having endured frost and snow, inscribed the very breadth of the westernmost mountain range with their annual rings. But the true secret lies hidden in the western stream at the mountain's foot. Those grayish-white stones, polished by the flowing water, are called zishi in the classic of mountains and seas. When the ancestors bent down to pick them up, they discovered that with these stones, grime could be effortlessly removed. This was the most primal gift of cleanliness from the great land. Shadows leap and dance between the cliff faces. The body of a goat, the tail of a horse. Its horns are like curved blades of bronze. The classic of the western mountains calls it the Xiuyan. They are by no means mythical beasts, but living creatures truly rooted in these perilous peaks. Notice the oily sheen when its horse-like tail sways. The ancestors discovered this special grease could even heal chapped skin. Mount Tianyu, as the first gateway to the Hua mountain system, carved the initial imprint of survival on the western spine of Huaxia. And this is merely the opening chapter of the mountain's epic. 45 li to the west, the earth abruptly rises to form a new spine, where the brush of the classic of mountains and seas points. Mount Daoguo is tearing through the clouds and mist to reveal itself. The Huo River rushes along its northern face, a silver ribbon, plunging straight into the abyss of the Wei River. This mountain range, steeped in copper ore, is about to unveil a more primeval geological cipher. Copper elements, dissolved from the stones by 1,000 years of rain, seep into the river, staining the sand and stones a shade of vermilion. Suddenly, a dark shadow flits across the copper ore cliffy. It has the form of a pheasant, yet is cloaked in jade-colored feathers. Its twin claws are as if dipped in cinnabar. The classic of mountains and seas calls it the tonk. This mystical bird lives its entire life in symbiosis with the copper mountain. They repeatedly temper themselves in the mineral springs, their feathers tinged with the faint shimmer of copper ions. The ancestors discovered that by consuming the female bird, one could smooth the wrinkles of the skin. There is no aura of immortal arts, only the ancient pharmacology born from the interweaving of minerals and life. Mount Daoguo, with its most primitive geological epic, has fulfilled the mission bestowed upon it by the classic of mountains and seas, and the legend of the westernmost mountains of Huaxia continues to be written in the more treacherous west. 60 li to the west. The great earth here subverts all perception. Mount Taihua, like a colossal monument forged by a celestial deity, transforms into a visual shock. Four vertical rock faces slice the heavens. Waves of clouds crash against the sheer cliffs, shattering into flying ink. The classic of the western mountains records no birds or beasts. There are no crevices for pines and cypresses to take root, no slopes for beasts to clamber. Life here becomes a luxury. When the mountain rises with absolute verticality, all living things lose their foothold. But a certain being challenges these limits. The classic of mountains and seas calls it the Fei Yi snake. It is the only creature to have conquered this mountain. The ancestors carved a warning in a cave 100 li away. Whenever the Fei Yi appears on the summit of Taihua, The Central Plains will suffer a drought for 1,000 Eli. This is not a mythological curse. The snake's keen perception of drastic changes in atmospheric pressure makes it the ultimate harbinger on the eve of a great drought. Let us continue our journey across the peaks, journeying 80 li to the west. The geology of Mount Xiaohua here turns the world on its head. On the verdant cliffs, the Jing plant schemes with its roots, piercing the marrow of the rock. These wild fruits brew honeyed sweetness amidst the harsh peaks. The abundant thorny trees that the pre-kin medicine gatherers climbed are the sweet gift of survival from the mountains. The bye-bye bird, it eats that fragrant Jing and white artemisia. Its beak is like a tempered blade. When wildfire consumes the red camp on the southern slope, it always tears open the wall of fire against the wind. Where its wings sweep, the flames retreat 30 feet. The classic of mountains and seas notes it can bathe in fire. This is no miracle, but a gamble between life and death. The ancestors gazed up at this dancer in the flames, and thus was born the living epic of the fire-bathing bird Daoguo. Turning to the depths of the shadowy rock marrow, the Bili grass is conquering the stone walls with the posture of a black vine. Its roots, like black serpents, drill through the jade-like surface. Within its veins flows the earth's pain-relieving nectar. When the pain of a hernia tears through the chest, the medicine seeker would swallow these bitter leaves. In a moment, the furrowed brow gradually relaxes. No witness is needed. The way of the mountain is the way of sustenance. Let us continue westward for another 80 li. We have arrived at Mount Fu. This is the place in the classic of the Western Mountains where plants and trees are possessed of spirit. It does not float in a void. But because mist and rosy clouds linger on its waste all day, it appears like a lone island floating on a vast sea. Hence it received this name. On this mountain grows the Wenjing tree. Its branches are hung with crimson fruits, shaped like jujubes. He who consumes it will have his ears opened to the sounds of nature. This was passed down by word of mouth. A remedy specifically for deafness. Beside the damp mountain stream grows another strange plant, the pukao. Its form resembles the common mallow of the wilds. The leaves are spread wide, the veins distinct. What is astounding is its fruit. The ancients discovered that eating this strange yellow snake-like fruit could bring a power to clarify the mind. For those facing complex matters, it allows them to maintain a rare clarity and hope. The silhouette of Mount Fu, along with its ear-healing Wenjing tree, and the mind-cleansing pukao, gradually melts into the vast twilight of the West. The observation and reverence of the ancestors congeal here into the lore on the bamboo slips. Following the guidance of the classic of the Western Mountains, our gaze must travel west for another 60 li. Another mountain range stands majestically, awaiting its unveiling. It is Mount Shikui. Stone is its soul, wood is its spirit. Atop the mountain, the giant leaves of palm trees are like spears. In the crevices, they rustle and roar. The mang and mu trees drive their gnarled root systems to spread and endure. In the mountain's rift valley, the Guan water bursts forth from the stone. This water is no ordinary stream. The torrent carries red mineral sand rushing northward to pour into the Yu water. The sediment on the riverbed is neither mud nor sand, but sulfur and realgar. The herdsmen understood the laws of nature. They would take the mud from the river and smear it on their cattle and horses. The red paste would seep into the hide, repelling insects and parasites, ensuring the livestock remained healthy and free from plague. Having witnessed the sights of Mount Shikui, the legend of the classic of the Western Mountains continues its westward stretch. 70 li away, where the clouds and mists swirl, another secret realm has lain in wait for 1,000 years. Mount Ying is slowly revealing its veil. The mountain's forest is a dance of two distinct spirits. The willow, soft branches like waves, 1,000, 10,000 threads droop towards the clear stream, weaving their reflection into the water's mirror. The jiang tree, in contrast, is sharp and breaks through the soil, its pungent aroma diffusing in the moist air. Hardness and softness in harmony. Together they forge the sinews of Mount Ying. The mist on the peak condenses into dew, gathering into the Yu water. This water does not favor the warm sun of the southern slope, but resolutely rushes north towards the Jiki Marsh, plunging into the embrace of the marsh waters. In the depths of the Yu water lives a peculiar creature, the Xiuyan turtle. Its appearance is much like a soft-shelled turtle with a hard shell, moving slowly amongst the sand and stones of the riverbed. However, when it surfaces, the sound it makes is like the bleating of a lamb. This strange contrast shatters our conventional imagination of aquatic creatures. The southern slope of Mount Ying is the kingdom of bamboo. Vast quantities of Jin bamboo grow here. The canes are slender and tough, like green arrows pointing to the sky. Within this dense sea of bamboo dwells a special bird, the feiyi bird. It is about the size of a quail, but its plumage is a brilliant yellow. Most striking is its beak, as red as fire. The ancients discovered its flesh had special properties. It was believed that eating it could cure the dreaded leprosy and also effectively expel parasites from the human body. This is the survival wisdom accumulated by the ancestors. Through long-term observation and coexistence with nature, the chapter of Mount Ying hereby concludes. But the journey through the classic of the Western Mountains continues. 52 li to the west, the pulse of the earth shifts once more. A mountain renowned for its bamboo reveals its faint outline amidst the clouds. Deep within the dense forest, a sound of splitting bamboo and cracking stone is suddenly heard. The true master of Mount Zhu appears, the Haoji. Its form is like a suckling pig, yet it is covered in long spines on its belly. Each quill is hard as a steel needle. When it encounters a predator, its spines bristle, and even leopards and tigers retreat from it. Mount Zhu is the source of two rivers. The Zhu River is clear and cold, carrying the soul of the mountain as it flows north, eventually joining the torrential Wei River. Following the Zhu River northward, a strange and wonderful scene gradually appears on its banks. Dense thickets of small bamboo spread out like a green velvet carpet. At the roots of the bamboo are embedded raw stones of fine jade. The bamboo and the jade reflect each other's brilliance, as if a natural bonsai meticulously arranged by the landscape itself. The Dan River is crimson red. It cleaves through the gorge, racing southeast, and plunges headlong into the embrace of the Luo River. Diving into the depths of the Dan River, the riverbed is paved with crystal stones, their sharp edges cut, and the flowing water refracts into spots of seven-colored light. And in the deep, secluded shadows, the Renyu quietly glides. Its body shape is like a fish, but with the feet of a human. It is the most indistinct aquatic silhouette that the classic of mountains and seas has left for posterity.